came from the Discord channel. How do we market ourselves at gigs in a good way to other venue reps, promoters, and people who can make things happen? So, what I was going to say about this was, let's all be honest with each other, right? Everybody, everybody in this industry loves it when you, I don't know how much I can get away with here, blow smoke up their ass, right? Everyone is God's gift in this industry, right? See, if you wanted me to do something for you, I'd be expecting you to be bigging me up and be like, oh, I really love the way you market this or you do this or whatever. I'd be expecting tons of compliments. That sounds so bad. Blow smoke up everyone's ass, right? Basically, in a nutshell. And just be respectful and stuff as well, you know. The worst thing you can do. So, there's a band, a specific band, and I forget their names, which is terrible, but I saw a band playing in the SWG3. This wasn't on Friday night, don't worry, it was a while back, right? And they were a support band, and they got asked, they had a specific set time or whatever, right? See if you go over your set by a few minutes because you're like halfway through a song, cool, right? However, this band, they were about halfway through a song coming up to the end. They were told, obviously their set time, you had to be off stage by this point, blah blah blah. Cool. When they finished that song, they then started playing another song, and the promoter came up to them, was like, no, like you've went over your set now by about 5-10 minutes, whatever, blah blah blah. Maybe like 5 minutes if it was like one song. And after that, they told the promoter to get beeped, and they started playing another song. So the sound tech obviously just cut them off during that one. They're now banned from playing the SWG3, banned from that promotion company, and obviously, I'm saying I can't remember the name of the band. I do remember. I'm not going to name and shame. But I would never book them for one of my gigs. You know what I mean? I wouldn't ever book them because I witnessed it. You know what I mean? And it's one of these things that happens, and people talk. You know what I mean? I've spoke about it with at least 3 to 4 other promoters, and they have heard stories about them as well, and would also never book them. You know what I mean? So that band is going nowhere. You know what I mean? Because they've peed off too many promoters, too many people that are putting on gigs. They're never going to get booked in Glasgow or Edinburgh. You know what I mean? And this is where they're from, so where you meant to go now. You know what I mean? So don't piss off promoters. Don't piss off venues. Don't piss off the sound guy, because there's one person that can absolutely ruin your gig, and it's a sound guy. You know what I mean? So when you go to a gig, the sound guy should be the guy that you're bigging up the most, you know? Feels aimed, wasn't our fault though. Did you just go over your set? It was not aimed at you, it wasn't aimed at you. Should we start doing days where we go live on Insta, TikTok, maybe Twitch during practices for our audience to get an insight? Yes, totally. 100%. There's no question or anything like that. It's 100%. The more content, the better, basically. And doing things like live streams and stuff humanizes you as an artist. Okay. And one of the most important things you can do as an artist is try your best to humanize yourself. And this is what I've been trying to say to a lot of people, right? If you humanize yourself, right? So let's look at someone like Lewis Capaldi, right? Why is Lewis Capaldi so loved? Because people sit and they watch his videos and stuff and they can relate with it. People sit and they'll watch Lewis Capaldi videos, stuff like that, and they'll laugh along because they can relate to it. Lewis Capaldi makes you feel like you're not watching another celebrity, a big A-lister. You're just watching a guy sitting in his house making jokes about something, right? because he humanized himself. Okay, so if you're doing live streams and stuff where your fans, potential fans, your the strangers, the followers, the fans and the super fans can actually come and interact with you, 100%. Like um that's such a big comment. I'll come back to that in a second. When if they can come and interact with you, it's going to humanize you so much. That people are going to jump on it. Um, and not just that, but like, see what we were talking about the other day. That I hope you have both been doing, because you are in a secret test at the moment with myself. Um, Discord DMs. I'm in the middle of saying something. Jeez. Right, we'll talk about that in a second. Um, so humanize yourself. Yes, do the live streams and stuff, especially if people that don't know you come across it. They're going to be like, oh, cool, a band. And then they leave a comment. And they're like, oh, that sounds really good. And then you're replying to that comment. You mean that's going to make them feel good? You know, it's a subconscious thing as well. So yeah, do your live streams and stuff. Do them on every platform. Humanize yourself. You know what I mean? Allow people into your world. Okay. See from my project, do you think I'm trying too hard to get a modern sound for the style of music, or should I strip things back and go for a 90s Green Day kind of sound? I can't answer that. Only you can answer that. You are the artist. Um, if you feel like you want your music to have a modern sound, then have a modern sound. If you want your music to sound like 90s Green Day, then make your music sound like 90s Green Day. I don't think that's not a question for me, that's a question for you. Okay? Should I clean my desk? Answer is always yes, but I'm a massive procrastinator. Okay. Should we be selling merch at gigs? And if so, how many of each item size? Yes. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Um, yeah, sell merch. So, okay. Okay. Do you know, I was actually going to record. I was thinking about starting to do maybe like YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and like Instagram Reels to to post on the Hurricane page, where we'll talk about music things, and it'll just be like kind of rapid fire advice. And this was one of the things that we're going to speak about, like maybe like the first thing. And I was literally just going over it today. Why wouldn't you sell merch at your show? Okay, so say you you're playing a show, right? You've just played SWG3. How many people sold merch at SWG3? How many of the four bands had merch available there? One. Okay. And it was Cloudhouse. Who was the biggest band that played SWG3 with you that night? Because I'm telling you right now, it's Cloudhouse, and there's a reason they're so big. You know what I mean? Um, and you mean obviously their sound has a lot to do with it, but they have marketed themselves so well. You know what I mean? We were the biggest band. Okay, but on a serious note, okay, there's a reason Cloudhouse, for instance, are at the point that they're at, and it's because they've marketed themselves so well, and they're doing things like selling merch and stuff at their shows. If a random person comes to see you, right? Now, even if there's different things you can sell for merch right now, things like t-shirts and stuff, it can be a bit pricey. Okay. Let me hold this up. Be nice in the comments because this is going on YouTube, right? T-shirts, okay? Nice t-shirts. What about getting a hold of the merch from our supplier? Talk about it. Even if it's not something big, right? Like a t-shirt. Because how much are you going to sell a t-shirt for? £15, right? Look at that. There's a wee badge. You know what I mean? Just a little badge that you can also sell for like £1. We would most likely have to pay for it, and if we don't sell it, it's a loss on us. We'll talk about that in a second. Badges £1, because who's got a spare £15 sitting about, right? So little things, badges, patches. I hate to say it, the coasters. You know what I mean? Like, they're not a terrible idea. You know what I mean? Things like that. Okay, you're selling those for like 50p. People love stickers as well. Get some stickers, things like that. You know, yes, 100% sell merch. Sell things like t-shirts and hoodies. If people have the money, they will buy them, especially if you were good and you blew them away. Little things, I wouldn't mind. See, if I went to a gig and I was like, oh, I don't have a lot of money, but I saw a merch table had things like badges or stickers and that, and it was only like a few pounds, I'd be like, aye, I'll take some of those, because I know I'm supporting the band and stuff. And even if they were shit, I'm still supporting them. They're out making art, and I'm still supporting them in a way that I can, because they're not making any money from the gig. Let's be honest, right? Even when they send their set list away to PRS to get the PRS money, it's not a lot. You know what I mean? They're going to make more money buying merch, and a lot of people are starting to understand this, and a lot more people are starting to kind of buy merch at gigs and stuff. Okay, so yes, sell merch at your gigs 100%. And see, if, for instance, right, say I go to see you and you've got no merch. There's nothing to say. There's nothing I can take away physically with me to let me know who you were. How am I going to remember you? Like a week down the line and be like, who was that band I saw last night? I can't remember. Like, I'm gonna be honest, right? You're gigging the SWG3. I remember Cloudhouse. I remember you guys. I remember the Sketches. See that second band? No offense, no idea. Right? There was no merch. There was nothing that said their name anywhere. Like, I've got no idea who they were. I'll never be able to find them again. And I know you were playing the gig. You're probably going to put the name in the comments in about 3 seconds' time. That's beside the point. Right? What did I say? But they had nothing. So if it wasn't for you writing that just now, I wouldn't know. I'd have no clue. Right? Now think about their fans who saw you. They've got no way of knowing who you were, no way of keeping in touch with you, no way of finding out where you are, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Absolutely nothing. Whereas if you had merch, even just like little pound badges, stickers that you could give away for free, you know, people would remember it and they'll know who you were. So yes, be selling merch. We have our own website as well. You know what I mean? You can go online right now and buy Trends merch. You can go online and buy Robots merch. There will be Matthew Ruddy merch soon as he sends me a damn picture. You know what I mean? Like, we've got the website as well. Your fans can go and buy stuff. We've also got a Patreon where you can go and sign up, and if you, I think there is a tier where you pay £10 a month and you actually get free merch monthly. And also, I think that's about it, to be honest. But yeah, there we go. Has that answered all your questions? Any more questions before we wrap this up? Should all the artists send their designs over for merch? Thoughts on the DM I just sent you. Yeah, send, if you've got ideas from merch, Robbie, send them over, 100%. Okay, we're going to wrap up if there is no more questions. And then maybe the next stream we'll look at rights and stuff. Where do I stream Heartbeat? Every major streaming platform. Yeah, Next, we'll look at rights and metadata. Maybe we'll have a look into that and talk about it. Anyway, adios. Have fun. Have a good week. What day is it today? Monday. Oh, I'm on the radio tonight. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not them. It's someone else. Tune in to Cam Glen Radio tonight at 8 p.m. to hear trends. We will talk about it. Right. Okay. Going to go. Have fun. Have a good week. Love you all. If you have any more questions, what we'll do is we'll set up a thing in the Discord for questions, and I can just go into them and do something like that. And we can do these weekly. Until then, love you all. Goodbye. Adios. Mwah, 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 mwah.